Greetings, ghouls, and welcome to another dive into horror television. Tonight we're taking a look at Three's a Crowd, a treasured episode of Tales from the Crypt. In this episode, we observe a very real fear many of us face, and that's infidelity. Hold tight, ghoulies. We're going in. We open up and we meet our central character, Richard. He's sulking in the dark as he waits for his wife. Somber music plays, and he drinks and Shane smokes. Great coping skills, my man. His wife gets in after 4 hours out with his best mate, Alan. We learn that Alan gifted her a nice new coat. Richard is devastated that his best man at their wedding could rub his financial success in his face. Alan also gifted them the place they're staying in for the weekend. He's done very well for himself, which leaves Richard feeling inept as ever. Richard is a drunk mess that's devastated. He doesn't want his wife to leave him. He's in tears, and she tries to calm him down and she cuddles him. But the phone rings, and guess who it is? None other than Alan Boy. Jealous Richard crybabies into the restroom while his wife Della answers the phone. The next day, Richard is third-wheeling it again, it seems. But this time he's on a yacht, so things could be worse. But then his wife plants a kiss on Alan's cheek. In the car ride back, Richard's anxiety is heightened again.
But you know what? I've always regretted never trying harder to steal Della away from you. Just kidding, Richard. Come on, you know that.
So we arrive at a gorgeous wooden cabin, like a gorgeous, big, exciting one. That evening, we see Richard still on his bullshit while his wife plays a card game with Alan. Alan and Della dated back in college before splitting up. Richard isn't that crazy for suspicion, but what bothers me dearly is how horrible of an interpersonal communicator he is. It's just simply insane. Use your words, man. What's the matter with you? So he's getting some air and he talks to Alan's staff. He's going back to town, so these silly kids are all alone out here. That night, Richard wakes up in the middle of the night, and he notices his wife isn't in bed. He goes outside and eavesdrops. Della and Alan are having an innocent enough conversation about Richard. They're planning something that's a surprise, and that's all we really learn. The next morning, Rich wakes up again, and he's all crazy. Today's their anniversary. He starts looking around the drawers in the bedroom and he finds lingerie. This is his tipping point. He goes downstairs and the nice staff from last night is there, and he was told to keep Richard inside since they're working on something in the other cabin. Richard is pissed off at not having it, but luckily his old best friend and wife come strolling in. This is when Richard finally explodes. We learn that Richard lost his job and now he bartends a dive bar. He's incredibly insecure about it and pretends that he sells insurance instead. He already is drinking too, which is disturbing since he just woke up. He asks how much the coat he bought his wife was, 10 of his paychecks. Then he embarrasses his wife some more. He's really getting nasty. So she storms off, and I can't for the life of me see why anyone would want to be with this miserable bastard Rich. Totally insufferable. Day drinking and getting all kooky, hell no. So he chugs some more. That night Alan goes to get Rich from the cabin. Alan and Della are finally ready to unveil their surprise they've been working on. That's great and all, but Rich has other plans for them. He's got a crossbow and he plans to use it. He shoots his old friend, killing him. The crazy bastard laughs about it afterwards. A few moments later, Della goes inside the home to get the two guys. The door slams shut behind her. She finds her friend dead and hanging from up on the wall. Della blocks off a door and hides in a room crying uncontrollably. Her husband seriously lost it, eh? He tries getting into the barricaded room. She's frozen in fear when he gets inside the room, but without other options, she jumps out the window and falls. Her bones break, and within seconds he's out there. He chokes her to death with the sexy lingerie that Alan must have bought her. Then his beyond crazy ass drags her body to Alan's cabin to go work on a baby. Guys, I can't with this one. The straights are at it again. I'm gonna rate this one a 9.2 out of 10 for the series Tales from the Crypt. If the ending wasn't so juicy, I would be blown away by the character of Richard. What a doofus with his implicit communication style. All of this could have been talked about and resolved. So maybe the big takeaway is communication is king. No surprises and no surprise parties allowed, ever. Just don't do it, friends. A good lesson here is no one can read minds, so make sure you're as direct as possible with others. Richard bottled everything up inside, and he got very murdery. I really enjoyed the actors that played Della and Alan. Della seemed very sweet and caring, while Alan had the funniest laugh I've heard in a long time. I love that. Contagious and weird laughs are the best. I think the set design was a spectacle and very well done as well. Great writing too. I liked the way this story flowed. There really wasn't much time wasted. Every scene was important and nicely flowing. So that's all for today, friends. Thank you to those who made today's video possible, my beloved patrons. Thanks. Couldn't do it without you, loves. And until next time, be well and stay spooky.